5th grade, World War II, sorry. 1941, our first radio station. When you go next Monday, I think it is, down to the Lighthouse and Museum, the original part of that building was WDBC, which is now up next to the Daily Press. That was our first radio station. The ground out beyond the radio station where the water plant and all that is, that was the lake. Because the old lighthouse, which you're going to win, that's where the water came up to, that far, all the way around. So they built that lighthouse, or the museum. Okay, the first radio station there. It was exciting for a little town like Escanaba to have a radio station. Remember, TVs, there was no such thing. And we would go down, and so would adults. And stand, they had a big hallway about as wide as from that door over here across the building, and all plate glass, so you could go and watch the people playing the records, and you could see the news coming over the teletype from all over the world. And there was a little room there where the announcer would go on, and someone sat there and played the records and all these things. And even adults for a few years would go down and watch this. I happened to be standing there on a Sunday afternoon at 2 o'clock on December 7th, 1941, because we love to go down and do that. And this machine started emitting whistle sounds and lights flashing all over it. That was a signal to the people working there. There's something very, very important that you shouldn't wait to read now. And I read there, one of the first people probably in Escanaba, that the Japanese had built or bombed Pearl Harbor. And that's where the war started. The war changed a lot of things. First of all, you didn't need just money to go to the store to buy sugar and meat and certain fruits. You needed the money plus a ration book, because they sent all the meat over to all the troops who were fighting in the war, and everybody knew a lot of people that went, even as a 5th grader. We had 3 people just on our blocks that went. High school was nowhere near as exciting for people as it is today, because if you were in 11th and 12th grade, as the war lasted for 5 main years, you knew that shortly, a week or 2 after you graduated, you would very well be going off to war. And many of the people were killed or came back without arms or legs. It was serious. But we got these ration books because they sent all the wonderful food over to those people. And so you could only have a certain limited amount. And we as kids understood it was a bad, serious problem, but we were happy about one thing, because once a month, the teachers, there was no school for that afternoon, first Friday of every month, they gave out the ration books, which of course they got from the government. And so we had half a day off of school. And if you used all your stamps for meat at your house, the first week of the month, you didn't get any meat the rest of the month. If you had a car, and the tires went flat, you could maybe repair it. But I remember a few in our neighborhood, they got a big cut on it, so it took out a big hunk of the tire, and the tires weren't made like today. They couldn't use their car the rest for 4 years, sat in the garage, because they couldn't buy new tires. All the rubber was used for war effort. So I grew up sort of in a time when things were sort of hard. Almost every family, to emphasize to the kids, brought us up at least once or twice up to the depot where the trains came in, because there was a thing called the draft board. The day you were 18, your name went into a hat, plus they kept it for years, so everybody up to the age of about 45 had their name in a big container, and every week they drew out whatever number they needed, usually 50 or 60 names they draw out, for instance, on Monday this week. That meant if your name was drawn, you were leaving for war the following Monday. You had 1 week to get everything in order and arranged, and we might never come back. And so families would take their children. I can remember that just like it happened yesterday on the way out. Dramatic and sad it was. We went up to the depot. High school band played. They gave a couple speeches, hoping people would come back alive. Everybody's mothers, fathers, sisters, brothers, and neighbors crying, knowing what a terrible thing it was. And that happened every week for about 5 years. So we lived through some times that made life that you have now a picnic